Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. This is United Daily Live, the place where you get your latest Manchester United news, headline and transfer rumours every single day, every single evening here at 10:30 p.m. UK time. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking, commenting, sharing and joining AdamMcKola TV as well as we try and hit 150 members by the end of September. Get hitting that join button. We have got loads to discuss today as we await that official confirmation of the Donny van de Beek transfer. Obviously it's going to be Manchester United's first deal of the summer, but we're still waiting official confirmation from Manchester United of that deal going through. We're also hearing more rumours about the future of Thiago Alcantara, another midfielder that has been linked with Manchester United. He's been long linked with a move to Liverpool, and that move has been held up, and there's reports and there's rumours that Manchester United have had a bid for Thiago Alcantara to see if we can persuade him to come to the club. But we have a latest report from Build on those rumours with their opinion on whether that is true or not, so we'll be checking that out as well. Fred has responded to the rumours linking him with a move away from Manchester United as well. We heard Galatasaray were interested in signing Manchester United's Brazilian midfielder on a season-long loan deal with an option to buy. We'd heard that they'd made a number of bids, but now we're hearing that Fred wants to stay at Manchester United, and Chris Smalling to AS Roma edges closer as Manchester United continue to be linked with a move for Dale Upamecano. Manchester United's Chris Smalling continues to be linked with a move to AS Roma, a move that could see Manchester United recoup some funds in the transfer market, especially after just splashing out £36 million on Donny van de Beek. You'd imagine we could get almost over half of that transfer fee back by selling Chris Smalling, which would be decent business for Manchester United. So we'll be looking at those reports as well. Make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. And of course, this is United Daily Live. So if there's any stories that we've missed out on that have been out in the last 24 hours or since the last show, let us know. We'll get covering those as well. Michael Pat says, Adam, love the show. Why haven't you been on Stretford Paddock recently? I haven't been able to get down to the studio. I've obviously done Gazetta from home. I'm going to be down on Friday, I think. And my car's in the garage tomorrow. So as soon as that's out, I'll be down with the lads at the studio, and we'll get a few videos done. So we will be back in action with those guys, but they've got everything covered over there at Stretford Paddock still, and you're still getting the daily content here on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you're keeping it locked, you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing and getting involved in everything that we're discussing here today on the channel. Of course, as always, we'll start with an on this day, and on this day 5 years ago, in fact on 2015, Anthony Martial signed for Manchester United. But also in this book that we've got, the On This Day book from Mike Donovan, there on this day is Monday the 1st of September 2008. Dimitar Berbatov joins from Tottenham Hotspur for a club record deal worth £30.75 million. Fraser Campbell switches to Spurs on loan for the season. Berbatov tells United's website, joining United is a dream come true. I look forward to playing my part in helping this club win more honours. Sir Alex Ferguson says this is a key signing. Dimitar is one of the best and most exciting strikers in world football. Obviously, he eventually went on to help Manchester United lift that 19th league title when he was the top goal scorer in the Premier League. An absolutely fantastic striker. Had some great moments in a Manchester United shirt and in a Spurs shirt in the Premier League. An absolute legend. And on this day in 2008, Manchester United signed Dimitar Berbatov. So we've done with the on this day. Let's get a look at these latest reports on Thiago in Build. So as you can see here, the latest story from Build on Thiago, and they say Manchester United offer €30 million for Thiago with a question mark at the end of it. And it says, does Manchester United catch Thiago under the nose of Liverpool? So far, coach Jurgen Klopp with his Reds was the favourite in terms of the Thiago commitment. Remember, this is translated from German into English, so some of it might not be a direct translation. Well, it is all a direct translation, so some of it might not make sense completely, but we'll get there in the end. So it says, Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool were the favourites in terms of signing Thiago. But now the rumour is circulating in England that Bayern Munich have already accepted an offer from United in the amount of 30 million euros for the midfield star. Only Thiago himself still has to agree the deal. According to Bild, though, and their information, they say the Munich-based company has not received an offer from Manchester United. The Premier League club is said to have only contacted the Spaniard's advisor. There can be no talk of an agreement. So Bild say their information is Manchester United have not made an offer to Bayern Munich for the 30 million euros for Thiago Alcantara, which is an absolute snip at that price for whoever gets the player. But they say United has not bid, and the Premier League clubs have only spoken with Thiago's agent. Now, obviously, they say the rumour that United have bid and had a bid accepted for 30 million euros comes from England. So that's where that comes from. And Bild are obviously closing that one down and saying, well, actually, Manchester United have not made a bid for Thiago Alcantara. They've only contacted his agents. Now, that wouldn't surprise me. We've seen United contact the agents of Jadon Sancho first. We've agreed terms with him first. We agreed terms with Donny van der Beek before we got the fee agreed with Ajax. It seems Manchester United like to put the feelers out there first with the players' representatives to find out whether the player actually wants to join the club first. Find out whether he's on it to join United. Because we've seen, Paulo Dybala, United would have liked to sign him, but there wasn't an urgency from the player there to join Manchester United. So United pulled out of that deal. And we seem to be doing things a little bit differently at this moment in time. And if players don't want to join Manchester United, United aren't pushing the boat out to try and change their mind or throwing more money at them to try and change their mind. Of course, we are going to pay people good wages, and I'm sure we can offer someone like Thiago Alcantara a very healthy wage packet. But for me, this one feels like it's United are being dragged into it in order to speed things up with Liverpool. Surely Liverpool can afford the 25, 26 million pounds or whatever it is when you convert the 30 million euros into pounds. Surely Liverpool, having just won the Champions League and the Premier League, can afford that. But it looks like they need to get rid of someone before they can sign Thiago. Now, if Wijnaldum goes to Barcelona, it looks like they'll have the funds to make that one happen. And it does feel like Thiago will eventually be a Liverpool player. And much like the Gabriel Magalhaes rumours, when United were dragged in towards the end, we'd heard Napoli and Arsenal had agreed deals with Lille, and it was just a case of the player deciding his future. And then towards the end of that, we heard United were interested. And it was clear United were never really in for him. We never contacted Lille to see whether we could get him into Manchester United. And, it didn't seem like anything was there. It just seemed like something that was put out there to get Arsenal and to get that deal moving a little bit quickly. And you feel the same with this Thiago Alcantara stuff. Now, it'd be interesting in the first place because we've just signed a midfielder. Now, obviously, Thiago Alcantara predominantly plays deeper. So he'd come in ahead of Nemanja Matic, and then you'd have Donny van der Beek rotating him with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. It would mean Fred and or Scott McTominay or Nemanja Matic are off, in my opinion. You can't sign that many midfielders and expect to keep every single one of them happy. And at the moment, we've got Donny van der Beek, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Nemanja Matic, Scott McTominay, and Fred. Thiago Alcantara is better than most of those midfielders. You'd put him up there with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes as your best three. But is he going to come to Manchester United? I can't see that one happening. I can't see United, going out there and looking to make another midfield signing unless we've got players that are expecting to leave. Unless maybe we're looking to change things around. Maybe we've thought Jadon Sancho isn't happening this summer, so let's target someone else. But I still think United will be looking to get Jadon Sancho in through the door. And I'm not reading too much into these Thiago Alcantara rumours. Obviously, there's a lot of tweets going around saying United have bid for him at this moment in time. But Bild are denying that United have had a bid for Thiago accepted. We know what bid would be accepted. It's 30 million euros. So I'm sure if the player wants to join Manchester United, United will probably pay up that money. But at this moment in time, it looks like Liverpool and Thiago are holding out for each other. So let's wait and see how that one develops. But I don't see Manchester United signing Thiago at all. So let's move on from that one. Thiago Alcantara to Manchester United. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Let's have a look. Tess says Thiago is a really creative player. Upamecano has been linked too, says Tappy. Yeah, we've covered the Upamecano links already on a number of occasions on AdamMcKola TV in the last 24 hours. We'll have a look at them again today and sort them out. But yeah, make sure you're letting us know about them ones and your opinion on all those things there, Upamecano as well. Let us know. Robert says need a striker, left back and Sancho before getting Thiago. It does feel like we need to focus on other signings, especially after making the signing of Donny van der Beek. If United hadn't made the signing of Donny van der Beek, then I'd understand going full speed ahead for Thiago Alcantara. But we have, so I'd assume that we'd target other signings before we do that. Welcome back to the membership on AdamMcKola TV. Ravi Kishore, thank you for joining us again. Make sure you're clicking that join button if you can and joining up with AdamMcKola TV. Akeem King with the super chat says sign Alaba and wait for Mengi and Axel to develop. Plaman G says 2 questions. What position for Donny? And do you think United will get Upamecano unlike your failed attempt while you're managing United on FM20? But I was in the right ballpark going for Dale Upamecano, wasn't I? What position for Donny? Well, I think in a 4-2-3-1, he can obviously play in the 2 and he can play in the 3 in behind the striker. So he presents us with fluidity, someone that can play 6, 8 and 10. I'd play him in a 4-2-3-1 in 60-70% of our games, especially at home with Pogba and with Bruno. But there's going to be games where you need to play Nemanja Matic or someone a little bit deeper. Van der Beek can do that, but obviously let's see how he adjusts to the Premier League. He's more suited in the 8 or the 10 role, but we know he has the intelligence, he has the awareness, he has the technique and the ability to pass to maybe try and pull off that Carrick role. But let's wait and see how he develops. But I think he's obviously a useful backup and rotation for Pogba and Bruno. But I also think in some games in a 4-2-3-1 he can be used alongside those guys as well. Dubsy the Dubsy has jumped in with a super chat and says just joining, please recap Thiago makes us better, my dream move. Just to recap Build's latest report, because there was a few rumours flying around that United had bid for Thiago, and they say so far Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool are the favourites in terms of the Thiago transfer. But the rumour circulating in England that Bayern have already accepted an offer from United for 30 million euros for the midfield star. Only Thiago himself has to agree the deal. But Bild say, according to their information, Bayern Munich have not received an offer from Manchester United. The Premier League club have said to only contact the Spanish players' advisors. There can be no talk of an agreement. So Bild are rubbishing the English reports that Manchester United have had a bid accepted for Thiago Alcantara. We're also looking at the latest on Donny van der Beek. Obviously, his medical was done yesterday and he was taken out of Holland's training. And we heard yesterday from Mike Verwel, who works for the Telegraph in Holland, and he was saying Donny van der Beek will only take part in Holland training on Tuesday if the Manchester United deal is done and he provides a negative coronavirus test. And Donny van der Beek took part in training today. So that means he's likely to have completed that move to Manchester United and obviously provided a negative coronavirus test. Now, we already had that pretty much confirmed. Well, I say pretty much confirmed from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano gave it the here we go and said that the move for Donny van der Beek is complete. The agreement on the contract is for 5 years, 110,000 euros or 120,000 euros per week for Donny van der Beek on his contract, which I think is reasonable. £36 million fee with an optional £4 million, £4 million in add-ons as well, which could take it up to around £40 million for Donny van der Beek. The deal is done. We're just waiting the official announcement from Manchester United and the unveiling and the pictures and those kind of things. But I imagine they may have had someone out there in Holland to take that when he was doing his medical and all those kind of things and signing his contract and stuff. So that's what we're waiting for now. Unless United are going to let him participate in these next, fixtures for Holland, come back and then do the unveiling. But that seems like a long time to wait. I imagine they might, just announce it before then, because there's not much you can do in terms of unveiling nowadays with the coronavirus and everything going on anyway. So let's wait and see. But we're just waiting an announcement on that. And various people are saying that we could see that an announcement coming in the next week or the next couple of days. So let's wait and see for that one. Chris Smalling has been continued to be linked with a move to AS Roma. And from Sport Witness we have this story saying Manchester United's player only has one destination in his mind. He has refused other offers from the Premier League and he is pushing for a move to AS Roma. As you'll be sorely aware by now, says the article in Sport Witness by Tom Coast, AS Roma still haven't managed to convince Manchester United to let Chris Smalling return to the Serie A club. Premier League side continue to be stubborn about their €20 million or so asking price, which the Italians are refusing to meet. There's a reason for that, mostly his age and the fact that the club, he himself desperately wants to move back to the club that helped rekindle his form over the past season. That's what Corriere dello Sport are suggesting on Tuesday, explaining Smalling has refused other offers received from the Premier League because he is waiting for Roma. I spoke about how I was quietly confident we could get him sold to another Premier League club, but it looks like he's dragging his heels on that one. A new proposal was made by the Italian club's CEO Guida Fienga last week, bringing the offer to €14 million. That's short of the asking price, but with the player pushing for a move, there's a belief an agreement will be found halfway, and in a few days everything will be clear. This is somewhat backed up by Gazzetta dello Sport, who state Paolo Fonseca and co. would like to spend no more than €17 million, including bonuses, which is funnily enough the midway point between 14 and €20 million. This comes from the fact Roma are close to selling Patrick Schick to Bayer Leverkusen, meaning around €29 million will soon be in their bank. So that money they get from the sale of Patrick Schick is partly going to be used to get Chris Smalling. And Chris Smalling dragging his heels over a potential move to the Premier League is affecting us because AS Roma know the player only wants to go to one place, and is creating difficulty for us. I think United could probably get 20 million for him from a Premier League club, but obviously with him doing this, he's going to find it difficult. The player has a right to decide where he wants to go as well, obviously. And if he wants to stay at Roma where he's comfortable, I understand. But Roma have to cough up the money. Now, €17 million, around £15 million for Chris Smalling. It's probably a little bit less than we would have wanted. But hopefully United can get a deal sorted and get Chris Smalling out of there. You get £18 million for Chris Smalling. You put that towards a signing like Dale Upamecano. They're happy with that. Even if you just think about it as half of the Donny van der Beek fee, it works out all right as well. It means we've only spent £18 million this summer, and that's with getting Alexis Sanchez off the wage bill as well, which was massive for Manchester United. And there's a few other players that could be on their way out of the club as well. Sergio Romero, it looks like he'll be on the move, especially with Dean Henderson committing his future to Manchester United and staying at the club as well, not going back out on loan. So you'd expect we could probably get around the same transfer fee for Sergio Romero, around £10-15 million. Diogo Dalot's linked with a move. Rojo, Jones linked with a move. You'd imagine between those three you'd get another £30 million. So you're looking at potentially between Smalling and Romero getting most of the Donny van der Beek fee paid for. And then, Rojo, Jones, Dalot potentially funds your move, or mostly funds your move for a centre half, and then you've got that money to spend on Jadon Sancho, which was your original transfer budget anyway. So I imagine that's the way things are going to go for Man United. We have to get a few players out of there before we can bring a few others in, or at least have those moves lined up and have the pieces falling into place so that we can make those deals happen. I don't see us making much more than 3 signings. I think we'd be lucky to get 4. There's talk that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants 4 signings, and a left back or a striker has also been linked on top of, Van der Beek, Sancho, a centre half. There's been links, depending where you read, with either a left back or a striker. Now I imagine we could wait for a striker until January, because if you get Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood can be used as a rotational striker as well. So it obviously frees up a little bit more. So you could potentially wait for a striker. As for a left back, Luke Shaw is obviously getting back to fitness. You got Brandon Williams, Ethan Laird. Diogo Dalot could be on his way out. I personally would keep him, but he could be on his way out when you think about it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So I can see why we've been linked with fullbacks and with left backs, but it may not be a priority. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us get a centre half, get Jadon Sancho, and that be the last bit of our business. And if we do manage to get a few more players off the books, let's say we get rid of Andreas Pereira, Rojo, Jones, Smalling, Romero, Dalot, you maybe see us get another player, but I'd be surprised to see that happen, to be honest. And it's not much time left until the season starts for United. September the 19th. We've got 18 days to go until then. Hopefully in these 18 days we can get, or in the next 2 weeks, we can get Sancho and a centre half done. And then anything else between then and the end of the window closing is a bonus, I imagine, because we wouldn't have expected much else. Dubsy with another super chat says, I hope those questioning Alcantara know that he's actually better than Matic, Fred and McTominay. He only makes our team better. I think it goes without saying, look, Thiago Alcantara would be first choice for Manchester United. You'd play Thiago, Pogba, Bruno, and that would be your midfield. Donny van der Beek can interchange with either 3 of those. You got Fred, McTominay and Matic that would be coming in as backup as well. But if you're signing Thiago, I think 1 or 2 of those players is off. Definitely one of those players is off. Maybe it is Fred. Who knows? Maybe United are thinking, actually, we could move Fred on and free up that space for Thiago. And they're probably thinking 30 million euros for Thiago, someone that can come in and replace Nemanja Matic now. They're probably regretting giving Nemanja Matic a new deal, to be honest. Probably regretting that. You never know. But we have heard today Fred wants to stay at Manchester United, and we hear that he hasn't been told by the club that he is unwanted. But if United are actually in for Thiago and can make that move happen, maybe it does signal the end for Fred. Maybe it does signal the end, but I don't know. I think Fred will end up staying because I can't see us signing Thiago Alcantara. Mr. Sanjit says Upamecano for £60 million. I can see Upamecano, you're getting him for a little bit cheaper. His release clause from next summer is 42 million euros or something like that. So I think if you offered them 50 million euros, 55 million euros now, what's 50 million euros in pounds? 44 million pounds. I think if you offered them 45 million pounds, they'd probably take it, especially if they're gonna give him away for 42 million euros next year. Yeah, 37 mil they're gonna give him away for next year. Someone can come in and take him for his release clause. You may as well take an extra 8 million now. So United could do that, but maybe I'm playing too much Football Manager and things like that. But there you go. They want Matic to stay around longer for a coaching role, so have kept him. Imagine a diamond of Thiago, Pogba, Bruno, Van der Beek. That would be the stuff dreams are made of. But unfortunately, can't see that happening. Can't see that happening at all. Especially if United are going to be in the market for Jadon Sancho, and you still hear that Manchester United's priority in this window is Jadon Sancho. One of the other stories that is coming out about Donny van der Beek, and it's a nice touching story, is that he's likely to take the number 34 shirt at Manchester United to honour his close friend Abdelhak Nouri. Now there's a few players, I think Justin Cliver and a few others around the world that wear the number 34 in dedication of Abdelhak Nouri, who obviously had a crazy end to his career really, and it's a nice touch by Donny van der Beek. It's his friend, so I'm sure that will be Great to see if that does come out when his shirt number is revealed and he's unveiled as a Manchester United player. Shreyesh with the super chat says, speaking of midfield, do you think McTominay could ever develop to the level where he can consistently partner Pogba, kind of like Keane for Scholes? I think to say Scott McTominay could be as good as Keane underestimates how good Keane was. Keane was one of a kind. I don't think United will ever get close to Keane again. But Scott McTominay can improve more. I've always said though, Scott McTominay needs to be 4th or 5th choice at Man United in our midfield for us to be competing. And at the moment, you'd have to say that's where he is. And I think that's a good 4th or 5th choice to have for United. You got Bruno, Pogba, Donny van de Beek, Matic, Fred, McTominay. He might even be 5th or 6th choice. But that's fine, especially while he's still improving in that. Especially for a player like him that's come through the academy. He's a good squad player. He's a good lad around the club. I have no problem with those kind of players being in the squad. I don't think he can ever get to the level of Keane or Scholes though. Getting up on Upamecano is important in this window, says Prince Vargas with the super chat as well. Would love to get Dale Upamecano in at Manchester United. He'd be the centre half that I'd want. I've said it a lot when people have asked who do you want in centre half, and I've always said, well, he's obviously just signed a new deal, but I'd love Dale Upamecano at the club. And maybe we could still make it happen, who knows, but I imagine that one might rumble on for a little bit longer. Great quote coming out via United report from the Portuguese press, from Bruno Fernandes, and it said, I hear people saying, he only scores from penalty kicks. But a little while ago I looked at the statistics, and except for penalties, only Kevin De Bruyne has a higher involvement in goals than me in England when it comes to midfielders. Talk about silencing the critics. There is Bruno Fernandes with a little bit of a stats bomb. Donny van de Beek, his dad has been speaking to the press as well. Where's that quote gone? I can't find that quote. I can find a quote from Frankie de Jong, his former teammate, who says he spoke to Donny about the transfer. It's a beautiful transfer and we're all very happy for him. Did he ask me for advice? No, he can think by himself. So Donny van de Beek's transfer catching loads of headlines in the Dutch press, as you'd imagine, and he is on his way to Man United. And there was an interesting piece in The Athletic today as well, which spoke about sources close to Donny van de Beek saying every coach can say that they want you, but it takes a special coach to explain exactly why they want you. And Ollie convinced Donny van de Beek entirely. And that was from The Athletic, who also say Manchester United still retain hope in signing Jadon Sancho this summer transfer window. So that is your latest Manchester United news, your latest transfer updates on everything Manchester United and everything Donny van de Beek and all that. I'm trying to see what's going on. We've still got Jan Arg, Fjortroft and Christian Folk tweets from 12 hours ago saying United and Liverpool are still in for Thiago. So these guys are convinced United are still in for Thiago, but we have only contacted his agents. We have not agreed a deal with Bayern Munich as it stands, and we've not agreed a deal for him. So let's wait and see. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like he'll end up at Liverpool. Go and check out the rumour rater from earlier on today if you haven't already seen that, and you can also go and check out the video that we did looking at Donny van de Beek's career and where he'll fit in at Manchester United in the team. We had a look at the formations that we could play with him and where he'd slot into those specific formations. So you can go and check that video out as well. We've had loads of new updates on AdamMcKola TV, loads of new videos, so go check them out. We'll be back later if United confirm this news today or tomorrow. As soon as it is announced, we will be live, and also there's loads more coming up as well as United Daily. So keep it locked, like, comment, share, and I know loads of you like that are watching haven't subscribed. It's so easy. Click the red button, subscribe, do me a massive favour. For now, I've been AdamMcKola, you lot have been legends. Thanks for your super chats and everything.